Welcome back, my friends. Are you ready to now solve the case of the total number of rocks and mineral in our museum display? All right, here we go. So we're going to use the important information that we've underlined when we're making sense of the problem. So the first thing I notice is that we have 476 rocks. Perfect. Okay, and then we also have 148 minerals. I'm going to put a line through these two just because I just used them. Okay, so 476 rocks, 148 minerals. Now it says total number of rocks and minerals. Well, I know that total means we're going to put them together. We're composing. We're putting them together, right? I want to know how many we have all together. So I'm going to put plus and equals question mark. We don't know what our total is yet. Okay, now when you go to solve this, you can use any method you want to. You can also use different tools. You can use connecting cubes, base 10 blocks, number charts, 100 place value mats, and open number lines. I'm actually going to use the open number line to solve this. Okay, so I'm going to bring my 476 rocks down here to start my number line. So 476. I'm going to scratch that off or put a line through it so I know that I've used that. And now, since I'm going to take jumps, I'm actually going to break my 148 minerals and I'm going to put it in expanded form. So 148 in expanded form is 100 plus 40 plus 8. Okay, I'm going to start with my jump of 100. I'm just going to get that out of the way. I take one big jump of 100. Okay, I'm not adding any ones. I'm not adding any tens. I'm only adding 100. So the only number that's going to change is the hundreds. And it changes from 4 to 5. So now I have 576. I'm going to put a line through my 100. Okay, now I look at this and I want to make a friendly number. So how many jumps would it take to get to a 0? Well, let's look. So I have 576, 577, 578, 579, 600, right? I took a jump of 4. So I'm going to take that from my 1s. Okay. Well, I still have to account, I have 8 here. So 4 plus what will give me 8? Well, we know that 4 plus 4 will give me 8. Okay, I'm going to use 1 4 here. I'm going to take a jump. That gives me 580. Okay, now I can use my other 1s or I can decide to use my 10s. Well, since I have a friendly number and this ends in 0 as well, I'm going to take my 10s now and make a jump, right? So I can either do it by 10s. I know that I have 4 10s here, right? 10, 20, 30, 40. I have 4 10s here. I can take individual jumps of 10 if we want. So let's go and do that. 10, 20, 30, 40. Plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. You can take a bigger jump if you want. I'm just showing you this way. So now I'm going to count by 10s. 580 plus 10 is 590. 590 plus 10 now takes me to 600. 600 plus 10 gives me 610, and 610 plus 10 gives me 620. Okay, now I still have to use my other 1s here, so I still have to take my last jump of 4. I have 624. Beautiful. So remember that number, 624, and let's see, we're going to see how iReady solved it and see if they came up with the same answer as we did, okay? Here we go. Erase, erase, erase before we move it over, right? All right, let's see how iReady did it. All right, so they said you can show each number as 100, 10s, and 1s, and it looks like they took it in expanded form, but they used words instead of the numbers. So we have 476, it's 4 hundreds plus 7 10s plus 6 1s. We have 148, which is 100, 4 10s, 8 1s. Okay, now they're just adding their 1s, right? 6 plus 8 gives me 14 1s. 7 10s plus 4 10s gives me 11 10s. And 400s plus 100 gives me 500s. Let's see what they did with that information. Okay, it says you can add hundreds, tens, and then ones. So they took their hundreds, they took their tens, and they took their ones. Okay, they have 500 plus 110 plus 14. You can just flip it, right? Because you're adding, they did 14 plus 110 plus 500, the same thing. Okay, let's go and take a look at this. Write the number of ones, tens, and hundreds. So we have 14 ones, okay? 14 ones. So let's go and write that up here. We have 14 ones. Okay, how many tens do we have? We have 11, right? We don't have 110 tens. Okay, this is a 10 stick. Let's count. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, right? And we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 10 sticks. So we have 11 tens. Okay, now let's go and look. We have 500 equals how many hundreds? Well, it's 5, right? We have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Okay, so we have 500 blocks, or we have 5 hundreds. All right, you can regroup when you have 10 or more ones or 10 or more tens. So let's go and take a look at this. Regrouping. We have 14. Well, that is, let's look at place value. Ones and tens, right? This is a 10. So we have 1 10 and we have 4 ones. Okay, let's take a look at this. Again, we're going to do our place value. Ones, tens, hundreds. Okay, so we have 100 and 110. We have 0 ones. And we have 500s. Now we're going to look at problem 2, which is right here. Look at problem 2. It's very important that we read the instructions. Write the total number of ones, tens, and hundreds after regrouping. Well, let's see how many ones we have. We have 4 ones. We have 4 ones. Okay, we have, let's see, we have 1 10, 2 tens. Okay, so we have 2 tens. And we have 100 and 500s. So we have 600s. So if I put that over here, I have 624. Is that the same answer we came up with? Awesome. You know what's great about math is you can do it 2 ways and check your work. If you don't get the same answer, then you have to redo it to figure out why. But if you get the same answer, you're just happy, right? Because you're like, hey, I've solved it and I've checked it twice. All right, let's think about this. Why should you get the same total when you use different strategies to find 476 plus 148? Why should we get the same answer? Why should you get the same total when you use different strategies to find 476 plus 148? Because no matter how you add it, you should always get the same answer. I did a number line, and I came up with 624. I already used place value. They broke it into expanded form with words, and then they were able to regroup, and they also came up with 624. All right, my friends, if you're confused by any of this, you may rewind the video at any point and watch it again. But now you get to show what you know.